providing you with great information to help your business succeed. However, we're not giving you credit for it. Here's today's guest, my friend Risa Hogue, who is the president of GMG Public Relations, with her presentation, How to Market Your Firm in an Insane News Cycle. Risa, take it away.
We are going to talk about planning your visibility and designing your marketing for success. And I have geared this towards those of you on the call who are in the architectural field, but it applies really to anybody. But I've geared it towards hopefully your interests specifically. So similar to what you do, we need to target, right? We need to plan and we need to execute. So one of the most important pieces of this is, and that people forget and leave out, is targeting. So marketing is really about targeting who you're trying to reach. And I know that sounds basic, but most people leave out that really important step. And they kind of make the assumption that, my work can appeals to everybody. There's no, I don't have to fine tune. I don't have to fine tune my market. And nobody wants to cut anybody out. And the problem with doing that is you are not going to use your time and your energy and your money wisely. You're going to end up spending time and energy on things that won't produce as well as if you fine-tuned and targeted your market. The next thing you need to do is plan. And I know that sounds simple, but a lot of people don't plan. So they kind of do everything at the last minute. Oh, I need an ad for this, or we're going to go do this trade show, and it's always seems to be sort of behind the eight ball a little bit. And what that leads to is things not being as smooth as they could be, not as planned as they could be, and not as well executed as they could be. So, and then the next one obviously is the execution. So the first thing you want to look at is your target. And again, I know it sounds simple, but who is your target? And that can be your actual clients as well as referral sources. So where are they? And when I say where are they, I don't mean where are they located only, right? Geographic area, which now it seems like anybody could work anywhere these days, given all of the remote work. But where are they? What do they participate in? What do they go to? What trade shows do they go to? Where are they? What are they reading? Right? What is their source of information? Where do they get their news? What events do they attend? Right? Are they going to local, regional, national trade shows, international maybe? What most interests them? Because we all want to sell, but nobody wants to be sold, right? So people generally have a challenge that they're dealing with, or a problem that they need solved. And so that's how you want to think about what you do and how you talk about what you do. You want to think about what challenges are your target market and your referral sources facing, and what problems do you solve for them. So once you start to think about your target, the next thing you want to look at is your team. And again, I kind of geared this presentation to what you could do in the immediate time frame to get ahead of the marketing in a news cycle that is just inundated with things that have nothing to do with what we do, right? So how do we stand out? How do we make ourselves and our message rise to the top, to our target market? So you want to look at who's on your team, right? What makes them special? What do they bring to the table that's different? Then think about, and everybody should grab a pen at this point, what projects have you worked on? And what made them different and special, right? So what challenges did you face? And I got to believe that with architects, designers, that everything that you do, every project that you work on presents something that you didn't expect, or that's a challenge that you need to overcome or you need to figure out. So what are those challenges that you face in a recent project? What lessons, right, did you learn in that process? What lessons did the team learn together in that process? And then you're going to think about what intel you can share. So what did you learn that you could share with other people that will be helpful to other potential clients? And then what trend can you shed light on, which is so important now, right? So what's trending, and how do you either jump on that bandwagon of what's trending, or how do you identify how you're bucking a trend, right? So that can be just as interesting, if not more so, to your clients, your referral sources, to the media. What trend are you shedding light on, or what are you bucking? All right. So once you have that, you need to think about your visibility plan. And when I worked for Ernst & Young 30 years ago, we developed visibility plans for each one of the executives and each one of the partners and managing partners for the office. And we talked about a whole wide variety of things. So what are they a member of? What are you a member of, right? What events are you attending? What boards do you sit on? And I realize that COVID has been different for the past, year. Everything's been shuffled around and not quite the same, but we are coming out of it. So you want to think about the next 12 months, right? What are you attending? What boards do you sit on? What boards could you sit on or want to sit on that you can start to get an introduction to? What events do you sponsor as your company? What nonprofits do you support? Nonprofit boards are a fantastic way of getting to know people and getting involved with potential targets, potential referral sources. Are there any awareness days that you can tie into? So October 5th is Architectural Awareness Day. So you need to know that because you can send out information around that, right? But there is a special day for literally everything. So if you look that up, you might be able to find things that tie into your industry, which give a great entree into writing articles and getting in touch with the media. Are you doing any public speaking? Fantastic way of getting publicity and standing out ahead of the crowd or ahead of your competitors. Do you host or participate in any podcasts? Podcasts are huge now, and there are podcasts for every subject. So do you participate in any podcast? Do you host a podcast? Have you planned a video series? Right. And that can be a video series that are just snippets of videos on what you do, right? And it could be based on a case study. It could be based on a problem that you solved. Do you send out regular emails, and how do you build those lists, and what goes into those emails? If it's just a selling message, you're missing the boat. It needs to be helpful information that people want to read from you. You want them to look forward to getting that email because it always has something important in it. And do you plan your individual outreach? Do you plan it on a daily, a weekly, a monthly, an annually basis? So the outreach that you're going to do is going to be, and these are the ways that you can get those quick hits, those quick publicity and rise up. So press releases, and I know press releases may sound a bit mundane, but if they are interesting enough, and if the data and the information you're providing is interesting enough and informative enough, they will get picked up. Articles that you can write, they can go into local or regional publications, they can go into trade publications. Op-ed pieces are a great underutilized tool. So you can think about those. Website updates is everything that you're doing. Does it go up on your website? Does that website get updated regularly? Because if it is, then that you get rewarded from Google and you'll come up higher in search. Email newsletters, again, fantastic way of keeping in touch if you're doing it in the right way. LinkedIn posts, Twitter posts, Facebook posts, Instagram posts, fantastic way of quickly jumping to the top of someone's newsfeed, keeping yourself top of mind the whole time, right? All right. So quick ways to get attention. And that's really, what Michael wanted me to impart to you was these quick ways. How can you rise to the top, get more visibility more quickly in an insane news cycle? So you want to take what we talked about here, and I know I've gone through this quickly, but what projects have you worked on? And again, every single project has, I'm sure of it, has something that's unique and different and special about it. What challenges did you face? What lessons did you learn? What intel can you share about that? And what trend can you shed light on? Right. So, and it's just so important to take those case studies and to sit down with your team and look at that and say, what did we learn from this? What did we get from this? What can we share from this? Okay. Then you're going to take those case studies and you're going to translate them into headlines. Okay. So the headlines are important because they kind of guide everything, right? So let's look at some examples of what that might look like. 5 design trends you shouldn't ignore in 2021. Writing a powerful headline very often uses a number, right? Something that is a line that people relate to, design trends, right? And then something you shouldn't ignore, and then the year. So you want to, someone's going to read this and go, oh, well, I want to know, tell me what those are. And if you take the projects that you're working on and you translate them into these headlines, you're going to find that you can then quickly write articles. And when I say write articles, I don't mean writing, 2,000 words. I'm talking about writing 500 or 600 words and basing it on bullet points from those case studies. And it's easier than you think it is. Another example could be how architecture will change forever in 2021 and beyond, right? So how might that happen? And again, these are just purely suggestions, but I want to give you an idea of how you can take what you are gleaming from your case studies and put them into headlines. 10 questions to ask before hiring an architect. Easy, right? Someone's going to read that who's interested in hiring an architect. So you've now got the attention of your target market.
Oh, it's not a Zoom thing where you're.
Then you've got, and this is just obviously just a quick, I've made up a figure here. 50% of all new buildings will be designed with flaws. Here's why. Immediately, someone's going to go, oh, well, what? What is that about? And they're going to click on it and they're going to want to read it. 5 big ideas for redesigning your office space in 2021. Right? So 5 big ideas for redesigning your office space. This could be office space for someone who is the owner of the building, a builder of a building, right? So again, interesting because we've just come out of this COVID time period, which has been stressful on commercial real estate for sure. How to plan for the office of the future without breaking the budget. Reimagining the home office with these simple design enhancements. So again, that's going to be a big subject, right? How can people reimagine, redesign, rethink about their home office with design enhancements? Your next building shouldn't include these 5 things, right? These are all headlines that if you think about your scrolling through your social media, you know what I'm talking about, how these things pop up and you say, hey, I want to read that. What is that about? How to incorporate green architecture in your next project. So once you have all this, then you go to your headlines and you start to flesh out all of these things and then put it out there. So through your social media, through the newspapers, through blog posts, your LinkedIn posts, all of that. Then you want to assign one person in your organization to be your marketing manager. And this is so important to commit to this. There has got to be one person or it will not happen. So you need to find a person who enjoys doing this and you can assign to do this. Then you want to schedule it into your day the same way you would schedule an appointment with somebody else. You're going to schedule your marketing the same way. And that's it. I wanted to make sure to get in under my my 15-minute time frame. I hope that you all enjoyed these quick tips and pointers. And I want to thank Michael again for inviting me to do this. And if you have any questions about it, you can give me a call. My information is on the screen. And I also do LinkedIn workshops, which I love to do. So if anybody is interested in knowing more how to use LinkedIn to generate leads, you can reach out to me. So thank you again.
You've got 60 seconds if you want to throw anything else in there.
Just that this is easier than people think it is. And it really starts with those case studies. So I can't emphasize enough to sit down with the team and really, if you make an appointment with your team and say it's our marketing meeting, we spend an hour every Friday morning and we talk about what the case studies are. What can we draw from this? What did we learn from this? You will absolutely come up with information that you need to start posting on a regular basis and keeping yourself top of mind. That's it.